welcome to Disney's Magic of Storytelling podcast, sponsored by WakeMed Children's, because inside every child is a story waiting to be told. Our storyteller is ABC 11 news anchor Joel Brown.
I'm going to be reading Disney's Wreck-It Ralph Power Outage. Vanellape Von Sweets had missed her friend Wreck-It Ralph. He spent most of his time in Fix-It Felix Jr., the game where he lived, but they were planning to meet at the arcade for some best friend fun. It was the end of the day at the arcade, and the video game characters were gathering in Game Central Station. Suddenly, all the lights in the station went out. It was a power outage. "I think we're stuck," Ralph told Vanellape. He was right. Until the power came back on, no one was going anywhere. "Don't worry, everyone," Fix-It Felix Jr. called out. "My trusty hammer and I will have this fixed in no time." Ralph and Vanellape started to make their way toward Felix, but it was hard to see without the lights. "Come on, stink brain," Vanellape said. "I think I see it." Ah! Vanellape had run into someone. Oh, I'm sorry, Vanellape. I didn't see you there. It was Gene, the Nicelander mayor from the Fix-It Felix Jr. game. Do you think the power will be out for a long time?" he asked. "I hope so," Vanellape said. "This is fun." Vanellape started bouncing excitedly, but she stopped when she saw how nervous Gene was. "What's wrong?" Vanellape asked him. "The truth is," Gene said, "the idea of spending the night away from home scares me." Just then, Felix ran past with his hammer. "Felix, tap Gene with your hammer," Ralph suggested. "Maybe then he won't be scared anymore." Felix hit Gene lightly with his hammer. It was supposed to fix anything. The friends waited and waited, but nothing happened. Gene was still scared. "Sorry, Gene," Felix said sadly. "I guess there are just some things my hammer can't fix." Vanellape and Ralph knew they needed to find a way to distract Gene until Felix could get the power back on. "Are you thinking what I'm thinking, kid?" Ralph whispered to Vanellape. "Absolutely," Vanellape said. "Party! Come on, everyone! We're going to have a slumber party." "Wait, what?" "No," Ralph said. He had definitely not been thinking about throwing a party. "Trust me, big guy," Vanellape said, patting Ralph on the back. "I know what I'm doing." Then she climbed onto Ralph's shoulders and yelled, "Now let's have some fun." Ralph sighed. If there was one thing he knew about Vanellape, it was that once she got an idea in her head, there was no changing her mind. Ralph looked around. "Satine," he called out, recognizing a fellow member of his bad guy support group, Badanon. "Think you can help us out with some light?" "It would be my pleasure," Satine said. He lit his staff, and a small circle of light filled the room. The video game characters wasted no time following Vanellape's lead. Soon they were all happily playing party games. "Who knew that Zombie would be so good at this?" Ralph said, watching Zombie bob for apples. But Gene wasn't paying any attention to Ralph. He was too busy wishing he was safe in his own bed. "Come on, Gene," Ralph said, pushing his friend toward a limbo line. "You should give it a try." Gene took a deep breath and limboed under the pole. He could really bend. "How's it going, Felix?" Ralph called to his friend. Ralph looked around. Where was Felix? "Up here, Ralph," Felix called from within one of the ceiling vents high above Ralph. "Can't talk now. I think I'm getting close." Gene was having fun, but he was still worried. Vanellape needed another idea. "It's time for charades," she cried. "Gene, you keep time. Ralph, you're up first." "I don't know about this," Ralph and Gene said at the same time. Gene thought he'd be too scared to keep time, and Ralph didn't think he'd be very good at charades, but Vanellape wouldn't take no for an answer. "Rooster, no. Ice cream, no. Giraffe, no. I got it. Lollipop." Vanellape yelled as Ralph tried to act out the first word. "Time's up," Gene yelled. "It's a cybug. I was trying to be a cybug," Ralph explained. Vanellape could see that Gene was starting to feel better, and she planned to keep it that way. She grabbed Gene by the arm and dragged him toward the starting line for a three-legged race. Gene glanced at Vanellape's fellow Sugar Rush racers. They looked tough. "Vanellape, maybe this isn't a good idea," he said. "Come on, Gene, we have to beat Taffeta and Candlehead." Vanellape replied as she tied her leg to Gene's. Vanellape was very competitive, and she wasn't going to lose this race. Before Gene could say another word, Sour Bill waved the starting flag. The racers were off. Taffeta and Candlehead quickly took the lead, with Winchell and Duncan from the Donut Police close behind. "Vanellape," Gene cried as he tried to keep up with her. "Slow down!" "You slow down, you lose," Vanellape said. "Come on, Gene, you can do it." Vanellape pulled Jean along as fast as she could, but they were still in third place. Suddenly, one of the racers tripped. Everyone went flying except for Vanellape and Jean. They raced into the lead and across the finish line in first place. Vanellape jumped up and down. She was so excited they had won the race. "You did it, Jean," Ralph said, lifting Jean onto his shoulders. "I did! I won!" Jean cheered loudly. "Well, we won!" "But you were great," Vanellape said. Jean was so proud of himself. He had gotten over his fear and had so much fun doing it. He knew he couldn't have done it without the help of his friends, Ralph and Vanellape. "And look, you made it through the night," Ralph said. He was right. The sun had come out. Suddenly, with a bang, Game Central Station lit up. Felix had fixed the power. "I never thought I would make it through a whole night away from home," Jean said. "But now that I have, I guess it's not so scary after all." "Thanks, guys." "Of course, buddy," Ralph said. "What are friends for?"
WakeMed Children's is proud to support the ongoing enrichment of children in our community and beyond through our sponsorship of the Disney Magic of Storytelling podcast. To learn more about WakeMed Children's, please visit kids.wakemed.org.